I could smoke crack. That's probably not a great way to start off a video. Fuck it. I could smoke crack and probably write a less wacky chapter of Chainsaw Man than we got today in chapter 131, which does a lot to highlight what makes Chainsaw Man so special as a series, and also makes me concerned for Fujimoto's potential drug problem. That's a joke. I'm pretty sure the only drugs in Japan are peddled by 60-year-old Yakuza dudes behind sketchy bars in Asakusa. That just doesn't really feel like Fujimoto's scene to me, you know? But today we have an incredibly interesting installment of Chainsaw Man to talk about, and moreover, we have to investigate the moral alignment of two characters we know and love, Nayuta and Fami. But before we get into any of that, remember to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content. My end of the year goal is 5,000 subscribers, but you guys have been amazing already in helping me almost get halfway towards my goal since the beginning of the year. So thank you guys so much for your support. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty as to what happened today. Now, I didn't want to spend too much time talking about this giant caterpillar devil for a myriad of reasons, chiefest of which being the fact that I spent over half of last week's chapter review talking about who this new mysterious caterpillar devil could be, only for him to be way less important than I thought he was gonna be. I sincerely hope you guys don't come to my channel for accurate predictions or theories or anything. I barely made it through high school, let alone college. Do not look to me for any semblance of intelligence. I was kind of cooking when I predicted Denji and Asa were gonna start eating starfish in the aquarium, though. The only thing I gotta say about the caterpillar devil is that his design and kind of gross with teeth-like mouth looked pretty cool this chapter. It's giving Mitchell Lichtenstein's hit 2007 horror film Teeth. You know that movie only earned $2.3 million in the box office, whereas James Cameron's Avatar almost got $3 billion. Some people just don't understand art. So the falling devil ends up assisting Pussy-Mouth Magoo in eating Denji and Asa, but like Gordon Ramsay in every episode of Kitchen Nightmares, he ends up spitting out his food. And this was the one and only moment where I ended up sympathizing with the falling devil in the entirety of her existence in Chainsaw Man so far, when she said, "I made that food with love." I don't know, man, she just looked kind of sad while saying it. It's kind of giving me sad puppy dog vibes. It's kind of like how I was on the crazy chef side the entire time I was watching the menu. I mean, if you've ever worked in food service before, at least part of you's gotta sympathize with the falling devil, right? So this is about where not only this new chapter, but the story of Chainsaw Man as a whole takes a massive shift. We get a reveal that not only was the falling devil working under Fami's control, but Nayuta shows up as well. And she even seems somewhat friendly towards Fami, referring to her as Big Sister or One-chan. Now in this interaction, Fami tells Nayuta that she wants to avoid bringing about the end of the age of humanity, but this brings up a big question that's been weighing on my mind ever since I first read the chapter. If Fami wants to avoid ending the age of humanity by gaining control over Yoru, then why did she tell Yoshida that the falling devil appeared on Earth in chapter 122? Especially if she's the one that has control over the falling devil in the first place. It also confuses me as to how Fami is in control of the falling devil when she had previously stated that the falling devil was to be the first in a series of devils that will usher the world into a great terror. I don't necessarily want to call this an inconsistency because I feel like Fujimoto was trying to leave the message of what Fami was saying intentionally vague. Like, what if the devil Fami was referring to wasn't the falling devil at all and a completely different devil ended up spawning on Earth at the same time? Or it could just be that Fujimoto is trying to fool us into thinking that Fami's intentions are so cut and dry and her motivations may be a little less clear than we realize. That said, if her motivation's solely to still be able to eat good food, then that's fucking based, dude. Now, the big question I asked in the title of this video was, is Nayuta good or evil? And that was mostly in reference to her getting close with the morally ambiguous Fami and saying that the ending of humanity sounds fun. I guess Nayuta showing up at the big fight and talking to Fami also kind of feels like she's going behind Denji's back as well. She still ended up saving his life, but her being sneakier than we were made to believe shakes up where she stands morally. I'm gonna go ahead and say that she's not evil in the same way power isn't evil. She doesn't necessarily care about what happens to humanity as long as she still gets to have fun and the people she cares about are okay. Though I feel like giving any character the label of good or evil in the Chainsaw Man universe seems kind of redundant. I guess Aki and Himeno could be considered good for the most part, but that's about it when it comes to Chainsaw Man. So if Fami and Nayuta are two devils that end up working together to prevent the apocalypse, wouldn't it be interesting if there were a human character that ends up working towards making it happen? I know I'm back and forth on my opinion of Yoshida every week, but what if the organization Yoshida works for is actually a devil organization, and they hired him to infiltrate public safety and keep Chainsaw Man in check? Now, there isn't really anything backing up this idea. I just thought it'd be interesting if there were a human foil to Nayuta and Fami working for humanity. Now, in yesterday's live stream, we had a funny segment where we asked an AI chatbot of the future devil to predict what would happen in today's chapter of Chainsaw Man, and he said this.
Oh, great and powerful future devil, what is going to happen in chapter 131?
Okay, the future devil has spoken. The future devil grins widely. I'm so glad you asked. You want to know what happens in Chainsaw Man chapter 131? Here's a hint. Aki's gonna be a dad.
that's that for the future devil. We're gonna come back to him next week and see if he was correct. But you guys heard it here first.
As for what I hope happens in chapter 132, I hope we get a full chapter following Nayuta's escapades in school before we get a follow-up for what happened with Asa and Denji. But sadly, the bi-weekly devil is gonna hit us again with another 2-week wait between chapter 131 and 132. But if you simply need more Chainsaw Man to watch between now and then, why don't you watch this video I made where I roasted the Chainsaw Man figure industry? That's gonna be appearing on your screens right now, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye now.